Alright, we're back. There's your not full screened. Can you tell where the Baron fight happened? And then where the next Baron fight happened? Not even Baron fight, Baron death. MVP from game 1 to the 4-0-5 Kled from the top lane. Amazing J. How many top lane bans did we have that game? We had a number of top lane bans that game, and it did not matter. Like, he had Kennen banned, he had Fiora banned, he had Camille banned against him. Whips out the Kled. Gets the MVP. Oh, he dodged the hook with the start of the Kled ult? That's dirty. I didn't even catch that. And meanwhile, Athena just cleans up all the kills, and Amazing J kills Baron. Yeah, there were I think 5 top bans in the top lane bans in that game between the two teams, and 3 of it. Like the Camille ban is nobody bans Camille right now. Like Amazing J is the only one who's played it. Played a great game on it in the last round, sure, but like, man, like so much focus on him. Doesn't matter. Goes out, gets the MVP. I am still on Team OMG because I picked them to win, so I'm obliged to like want my pick to be right. But we'll find out. So looks like that. I think the vote was at 63% the last time we saw it, so it slipped a little bit, but still most people are backing OMG to take the win, which I don't feel like is particularly surprising. So, pick ban next time. I don't know, like, I still feel like they don't need to focus as much on Amazing J. Like, if he can carry the, if he can like win his lane and carry the game, playing like 5 picks down in a champion pool, he's gonna do it regardless. So you're kind of screwed that way. I'd try and take out other portions of the IMay comp if you wanted to change the banning strategy up at all. Like, I'm not sold on the Jhin. It did well in lane. That's fine. It just feels like it's less impactful as you move into the mid and late game than it might be, than another ADC pick might be. Like, given results elsewhere in the world, it surprises me that we've seen as low a priority on Varus as we have here, because I think it's still a good pick on 7.9. And then I think a ton of stuff was still up in terms of AD when they locked the Jhin in. Like, I don't know about that pick. I feel like there are things that it could have served you better in things outside of the laning phase. Haven't seen any player swaps yet. Yeah, because we could see World 6 come in for OMG. World 6 didn't play game 1. We'll see how long we chat going into game 2. And the longer we chat, the more suspicious I am that there's a roster swap, and I would suspect that it would be World 6 if it's anyone. I am not the most infinitely knowledgeable person in the world about these roster situations, but obviously Jayco playing in game 1 was the most surprising. So, we shall see. So, I'm still here waiting. I think that the Jhin pick could change. Alright, so we're still here chilling. Apologies if I'm a little quiet. I'm keeping an eye on the old social media. Just to see what's happening. Yep. So, I am on most social media websites at ProfCedar. That's also my handle on League. You're welcome to find me on any of those. I play mostly ARAMs. I'm not actually that good at the game. I will openly admit that to literally anyone. But, yep. Trying to think. Like, I don't know, like... The mid lane matchup seemed fine for both teams. Alright, we're looking real hard at the IMay roster. Here they are. Yep. And now we're looking real hard at the OMG roster. Anybody see any fresh faces on there? Stream's gonna freeze. Well, they're far away, so you can't tell. Okay, we're already into pick ban and we've missed the first two picks. Cool. Karma, not surprised. Shen, not surprised. Kog'Maw's different. And Jaco's staying in, which, fair enough. And then Orianna. Alright. Cog ban against SMLZ is interesting. And then the Ivern ban against Jaco too. So I think he's got the Ivern in the bag. So Elysian, Ivern bans, priority of... Well, we haven't seen Graves at all, so I guess not that. Elise, I guess. Elise would be next highest priority, which he played last game. But Fizz is up, and we're going to lock into Fizz first pick. All right. So we've seen the Fizz top mid flex a lot at MSI. And it has been targeted with a good few bans in this tournament, but it hasn't been the biggest pick, and has slipped through some pick ban phases without anything happening. So it's interesting to see the priority jump that high on it after not getting touched at all. So, good for that. Thresh pick for Road would be playmaking support for him. Slightly harder to get caught out on. And we're going to lock it in. Cool. So that's a denial pick from 5. Played it last game. Played pretty well, and I got some picks early in the lane. Road obviously is one of IMay's big playmakers, so good to get him on probably the most showy of the playmaking supports that's actually real meta. And those are a lot of ADCs we're looking through. Caitlyn would be good. We can lock that in. I like that better than some things, and Caitlyn is indeed locked in. So, bot lane already locked in for IMay. Again, I would expect jungle here. Graves or Release are the top of the list. Then maybe Kha'Zix's down there. Oh, and Lulu's up. Yeah, we haven't touched Lulu yet. Forgot that. I mean, it worked last game, eventually. I will say I don't think it was the most impactful factor on IMay winning the game last game. And they lock away the Ashe. They can take the Lulu this pick if they want to, and probably will. Oh, hey, that's like the first time we've actually seen Rakan anywhere at all. He has not been a thing in this tournament. That would be a bold... I still think it's going to be Lulu. You can troll as much as you want. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we're done. Lulu it is. Bot lane locked in. Still kind of think we lock in a jungler here. That may just be my predisposition to seeing the usual come in. But, like, you don't know where the Fizz is going, so you don't really want to pick anything into that. Or you can lock in Amazing Jay's Camille. Sure. If that's the pick he wants over everything else that's up, that is interesting priority, and instead we're going to get the Galio. So, technically, Galio can be a top or mid flex too. If it's a mid flex, we need to see some damage come out of the top lane. Knowing Amazing J, that's probably not a problem, but the games that we've seen with Galio mid in this tournament have been the team comps tend to kind of run out of damage around around 30 minutes into a game. Doesn't mean they can't win the game by that point, but it's just like your late game starts to get problematic because Galio's damage, because he's building tanky, it does fall off at a certain point. Syndra ban, obviously, and like you've got the Fizz Flex, so you can ban whatever mids or tops you want to ban if you're IMay. Kind of same for OMG. Kind of surprised neither. Like, clearly nobody cares about the jungle pool at this point, which is strange because we've seen that super highly prioritized this tournament, but meh. Okay, yeah, there we go. There's the Rengar ban that I hate because I don't think Rengar is good. Let them pick Rengar if they're going to pick Rengar. Although I guess Rengar does enable Galio well, so I think I like Kha'Zix better, but that's what it is. Why are we going to cut away from pick ban? Maybe an Elise ban. Like if you want to let him onto the Elise again, that's fine because you weren't that impressed with the game. But still interesting not to test the jungler a little bit more. Where did my pick ban overlay go? Are we out of pick ban? Did something happen? Yeah, Rengar was definitely a misclick. Well, looks like something did in fact go wrong during what was that second ban phase of this pick ban. Since we are, yeah, we've got the three that we've got on either side. It's Caitlyn, Thresh, Galio for IMay, and Fizz Ashe, Lulu for OMG, if things stay the same. So, yep. I don't know. Still a little surprised at the jungle unpriority, but that's just being conditioned to watch for all of the jungle priority. So, well, as long as the picks are still displayed on the very lovely in-arena displays, we'll assume that pick ban hasn't been remade completely. And you'd assume that if it is, it's going to get remade back up to, like, second ban phase. I don't think these first three picks are going to get redone, pretty much regardless of anything. Not seeing any particularly strong emotional tells from the players of anything strong. Yep. Lots of OMG fans in the world, in the stands, cheering for their jungler who isn't playing. Hooray. Yeah, they all look aggressively bored. Well, I'm gonna have a sip of my drink and consider the situation as well. I mean, so IMay's comp, if we follow the logic of our previous thoughts, wants a diver to go with Galio, probably something from the jungle. You could see something aggressive from the mid lane, a more assassin type pick. But you obviously you're probably gonna see OMG. No, yeah, you're gonna see OMG lock in a jungler with their fourth pick on red side, I would think. and then you still won't know where the top or mid is going. So if you pick a more aggressive matchup into the mid lane, like say a mid echo or something, you could get punished for doing that. So you'll probably need to, I would assume you'd need to see something more aggressive coming out of the jungle. So like, I could actually see the Rengar pick here. I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I think I'd prefer Kha'Zix if you're going to do something that style. But or you could pick like Echo Jace and just double flex your last, well, no, you don't have a jungler yet. You have Galio. This would be so much easier if they'd lock their jungler instead of Galio. I don't think there's a particularly good way around getting the Fizz getting a favorable lane with Galio locked in. I think Fizz into Galio is pretty good for the Fizz. I don't actually know that lane that well. Oh yeah, Olaf, good call. Olaf could do. Yeah, that would work. Do like Olaf Orianna with your last two picks. That's a solid team. I think the Ori still no. What did they ban first phase? Did they ban Orianna first phase of draft? Orianna might be banned. I don't remember if Orianna's banned, but like Orianna Olaf last two picks with the comp you've got out there. I love that. That'd be great. And like OMG can lock the Orianna and screw that up, but then they lock themselves into their solo lanes with counter pick left, which I don't necessarily like. But yeah, I think you go. If I were both teams' head coaches and knew what myself was thinking, which I do, apparently, I think I'd go Elise, pick 4 for OMG. Seems like a comfort pick, wasn't that bad, just has to make better decisions in the early game. And then IMay goes Orianna Olaf, or Orianna Kha'Zix. Orianna Rengar. Okay, we're back. Cool, I don't have to... Orianna was banned, so I wondered about that. I couldn't remember if it was banned or not, and it's banned. Okay, Galio, so it was something in the ban phase that got messed up. Might have been that Rengar ban. We might have been right. So we're back into ban phase. Picks are as they were. Okay, so now we're back. I forget what IMay's fourth ban was, because that might have been where the problem was. Okay, so it was IMay's fourth ban was the problem. So they banned Braum instead of whatever they banned before. So then Kled ban. Yeah, they suspect... OMG suspects the Galio mid, too. I was wondering about that. So they could ban, like, Kled Fiora here, or they could ban, like... Did Amazing J play the Galio? Has he done that? He did not play it in their previous series. He played Fiora Camille Fizz in their last series. So... I mean, I guess you've gotten all of his three previous... Well... Okay, and there's the Camille ban. So yeah, I guess now you've taken away all of Amazing J's picks that you saw last series. And this, well, no, Fiora's still up. He can just lock Fiora here if he wants to do that. Oh yeah, good call. OMG did have Lulu. And the Camille was banned earlier, I thought. Well, I don't frickin' know. Whatever. Okay, well, yeah, because they locked Lulu with that third pick, so that was a mistake. Lulu might just stay open here. Lulu probably will stay open here. Alright, Icon wants his side of the Talia matchup, and doesn't know what he's going into, because IMay did go ahead and lock in the Olaf, which, excellent choice, for Ben 4. So now they need a support into Caitlyn Thresh. You can Zyra if you want. that side of the matchup. You can get away with a Braum or a Tahm Kench here. If you want the protection side of things, away from... There's only so much time, like... There's protection from, like, certain things, and then there's protection from an Olaf on your face, which Tahm Kench isn't as good of protection against Olaf on your face as he is against many, many other things. So, we'll see if we lock in a top lane carry and take the... Alright. That's not a pick we've seen in a bit. That is a mid lane Kassadin locked in for Athena. Now, I don't think we've seen Kassadin at all this tournament, so that is new and delicious into the Taliyah. So, I guess I get the theory of it, like, Weaver's Wall doesn't do anything to Kassadin. Does nothing to him on either the offensive side of the cast or the defensive side of the cast. Can everybody but Thresh just kind of get... Everybody but Thresh and Olaf. Olaf can't get over the Weaver's Wall. So you can take Olaf and Thresh either out of or lock them into a fight with the Weaver's Wall. But the rest of the... IMay team can just kind of go over a Weaver's Wall if they have their cooldowns up. I'm interested in that pick. It feels like... What's the thing you think about with Kassadin in lane, right? He gets shoved in super hard early. And Taliyah is like the queen of early shove. That's what she does. So I'm interested in how this early game mid lane's gonna go, because that's like... You'd think this would be a really bad matchup for Kassadin early. Just because of lane control. Like... If Jaco plays this right, he should... Oh, I guess... No, he's... It's interesting. Amazing J probably will have the shove in top lane. Icon will have it in the mid lane, and then we'll see how bottom lane develops. So the invades might be a little bit dangerous if you're Jaco. But, like, your Taliyah's going to have so much lane control. She's just going to be able to kind of get... She'll be able to follow Roam with you into the jungle if you want to do some invades. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, and I guess like Kassadin, you can Kassadin with Galio too. So this is a comp that I really like Galio in. Like, all right, looks like we're gonna get our typical boring line of scrimmage start. Caitlyn's going Warlords, Ashe going Fervor. Nothing particularly surprising on anyone. Yeah, those are all pretty much what I expected. I guess DFT makes the most sense on Kassadin, although I don't play that much Kassadin. I don't know the matchups really well. Wouldn't Thunderlords for the burst be better than Deathfire? But I am not one to sit here and critique masteries. That is not the part of the game that I know very much about. I haven't sat and done that math. So, looks like Ben 4 is going to preemptively ward so he doesn't get harassed too much at his Raptors. And he's going to go ahead and get some help with his leash from Galio. Always nice. So, interesting. Yeah, I want to see how this mid lane develops, because it feels like Kassadin just should be shut under his turret for the entire game. Alright, Icon's going to roam super late and get one of the tiny Raptors away from Olaf. So, not the best trade that could have been. Alright. So, interesting lanes all across the board. Yeah, you'd think Galio will have an early shove. I'm not, like... I said earlier, I'm not sure how well the Fizz-Galio matchup goes for Fizz. Like, he'll eventually have kill pressure, I'm pretty sure, but... Den 4 is going to get spotted out doing his blue buff. Shouldn't anything happen, like... But, well, like, stuff like that, like... Icon just got this wave shoved under turret and is able to go in and ward that blue buff. Next time he shoves all the way in, he's just gonna be able to walk into red side. Maybe drop a ward over red pit. Maybe drop a ward in the brush below red. You can see the vision on that. And like he's gonna be able to gets the Q onto Icon, does Athena, but yeah, it's just how much scaling is IMay going to be allowed to get away with here? Alright. Jiyoung jumps in onto Amazing J, but either nice timing by Amazing J on the taunt or bad timing. And this gank doesn't look super well coordinated because like Jaco goes in and gets a good cocoon and some nice damage onto the Galio, and it's gonna force him to back and TP back to lane. But like Fizz was walking away after just having traded aggressively with him. If you hit that that cocoon as Galio walks down to ward and Fizz can follow up on that damage, maybe go in, get the dot and the ignite on him, you might be able to get a kill there. It just didn't feel like that did much, you know? Alright, so the return gank, Ben 4 is going to walk his way into this lane. He's on a ward. He should probably know it. And meanwhile, Cocoon into by Athena. Wow, the tongue lash kill steal from 5. Here, I'm helping. That's... I legitimately don't like that play, but you got the kill, I guess. Yeah, so Athena, like, he walks up to farm and just gets punished so hard. And you're running teleport and Kassadin, so that cocoon just means you're dead under the turret if it hits you. Like, yeah, has to burn both of his summoner spells, is teleported back to lane. Flash was down as a part of that engage. Like, fair enough, I've been that bloodthirsty support before, but on the Tahm Kench, really? I don't know about that. So, the other thing is, we'll see, like, he's gone for an early, Null Magic Mantle, so we'll see, like, I'm used to seeing the Rod of Ages rush from Kassadin, so obviously, because good scaling, it helps your mana, it does all the good things for you, but, like, it's that point where buying literally anything else just delays that point by even more and more, so either being forced to or choosing to go Null Magic first, like, maybe he's going to skip on Roa and go Banshees this game. Which would be interesting. But I confess I didn't do research about Kassadin build paths. I am sorry. So, Rhodes going to be up here to give Athena some support and let him actually last hit this wave. And he's done a good job of not falling far behind in CS. The teleport helped him a lot in that. I think he would have missed a pretty good chunk of a wave. But yeah, Rhodes just going to babysit him so he can push this wave up. And it looks like Olaf is now the duo bot lane partner. He's just kind of out there throwing axes, it looks like, so. Interesting. We'll see if that turns into any kind of lead for Elise, who does have an experience lead, is up level 5 to level 4, since Olaf has not been in his jungle. But nice play by Jaco not killing that ward. Doesn't throw the cocoon out, but just kind of stands on top of the ward with no vision, and therefore, like, Kassadin shouldn't know he's in the brush because he doesn't kill the ward, which is, you don't see teams do that enough. Athena aggressively rift walks in, gets a nice trade into Icon. Has hit 6, so he's going to be in a little better shape with parts of this matchup. But yeah, Icon's still just going to have such a big push advantage on him. That's a cocoon and a taunt from Amazing J. Now this is a double. Looks like Amazing J is going to go down before Olaf can do anything. Jiyoung might go down in advance, but oh, that grass proc on the W through. This might not even be. Oh, there's the damage from Olaf. Now can he get out? Nope. Okay, 2 for 1 for OMG. Now Ben 4 was ready for the counter gank, but it just like Amazing J went down too fast to lots and lots and lots of damage. from the Fizz. The Ignite on the Fizz, I'm sure, helped a lot with that. But so hits the Cocoon going down toward the brush, and then like he gets the taunt onto both of them, but the damage from Fizz with the Ignite is just too much. And he goes down too fast. And yeah, Ben 4 gets the trade kill, but it takes so long because it's chasing a frickin' Fizz around that like he has to die in response. So nice flip head by OMG, get a 2-for-1 trade in top lane. And get a kill and assist on a Fizz, who is already up by 15 CS in that matchup. So that looks like a good first pick. Nicely done. So Athena did die once early game, but it looks like he hasn't gotten punished that badly in terms of CS, because he's still even in CS. I'm still interested to see what he buys in this lane, because like he'll be behind a good Rod of Ages timing pretty much whatever he does. And so it'll be just that much more scaling. And like Gallia is obviously going to want to take time to scale up, and he's not enjoying this lane with the Fizz with the Sheen. Caitlyn's going to want to get to 2 items. Gallia's going to want to get to able to live through fights items. So kind of looks like IMay just wants to survive and go a little late with this, which fair enough. Nice Rift walk out of the seismic shove from Talia. Just forces casting to use his mana, and that's the other thing. Like he doesn't have the mana pool that he would otherwise. His TP is about to be back up, so I suspect he's going to want to try and shove this wave and then recall. Probably have to TP back to the lane. Looks like Akon's fine with that, and he's going to use his own recall timing. So Athena can probably get away with walking back to lane and saving his teleport, which will be helpful. So this Talia is going Lost Chapter. It's interesting. I haven't seen that many Talias go Morellonomicon, but this looks like this one will. So we haven't been down to bot lane much. Like 5 walked up to mid lane and got his kill, but other than that, ADs are even on items. Both of them have gone for exceedingly greedy recalls, given that they haven't backed and haven't used their pots yet. And are at almost 100 CS, so that's going to be some instant, immediate power for both of them whenever they choose to back. Which, yeah, their supports have both backed, and they're just staying in lane last hitting. I like how there's been so little trading in this lane that they haven't even traded potions yet. That's no wonder we haven't been down there. Good job, observers. Top lane's problem, though. That is 74 to 40. This is... looks exceedingly unpleasant. Athena Rift walks in aggressively, gets a good trade, but just gets traded right back on as he walks away with the Talia Q. So, alright. Here comes Tom Kench. Amazing J is really dead. Goodbye. Now Ben 4 is ghosting his way in there. Yep, you're going to get to clear the wave, buddy. Good job. And Rhodes also here, and Caston's on his way, but... yep, that's... when you see the Tom Kench ult roll in, that's when you know you're dead. So, nice confirm by the entire OMG team except for their Ashe, who is still farming in bottom lane. Yeah, well, like, Doran Shield meta is one thing, but this is just, like, they're not even trying to think about trading at this point. Like, if you haven't burned the potions, like... that means, like, Caitlyn hasn't hit a Q, Ashe hasn't hit, basically... Caitlyn hasn't hit any Qs, Ashe hasn't hit any volleys. Like, Caitlyn's low on mana, so she's gonna struggle a little bit to keep her wave clear up, but, like... yeah, and, like, neither of their supports have just been kind of all over the map, and they've just been kind of doing their thing. Like, you'd think, like, Ashe usually does a pretty good job of harassing with just volleys every now and then. Athena's gonna take a good fat bit of damage. It looks like he's traded about evenly. So that looks like he's still going for Rod of Ages, right? He's got the Blasting Wand and the Health Crystal. But he could not be because... oh, so he went Merc Treads. Okay. So the Null Magic was for his Merc Treads. And then, man, but if he's only got this, like, he still needs another... more than 1,600 gold, like 2,000 gold to finish that row at this point. So that row is going to get full, like, we're looking at the clock at this point. It's 12 minutes into the game right now. Did Rift Herald just hit Scuttle, or is that splash damage from Elise? Because if Rift Herald's hit Scuttle, that's mean. We are going to see. So, yeah, this is a strategy we haven't seen by too many teams. Is just the jungler soloing out Rift Herald. But this is the second time in a row we've seen that. Is nice soloed out Rift Herald by the jungler. Get that done in like 12 minutes when it's pretty easy to kill. And just kind of deal with it. So, will be interesting to see where OMG choose to use that for pressure. Oh look, did Caitlyn just first back and buy an Infinity Edge straight up? She sure did. Anyway, Ben 4 is kind of caught, is going to sidestep his way out of the Seismic Shove. Fish is going to miss, and Amazing J is going to get here. But now everybody's collapsing. I don't know if Athena wants to go in on that. This is still 4v3. And, like, Amazing J is down so far that he kind of can't live through anything. But he's doing a good job for now. First kill of the fight is Amazing J going down. Xiang's probably dead. I don't know how long it is till Purple Twixture. Yep, that's 1 for 1. And 2 for 1 because your Caitlyn with an Infinity Edge there. And OMG's super low. I think they can get away. Probably. It's only Ben 4 and Road trying to come in here. And oh, well. Flash forward by Icon for the solo kill. Nice highlight moment. And is gonna die because there's Galio there. Good try on the Weaver's Wall. I wonder what he was doing because I didn't see the two coming up from bot lane, but good effort. Didn't work. And we've got a pause. I wonder if somebody's salty. Yeah, I guess he could go Rylai's. Yeah, I just feels like the game doesn't work for Roa just because of how the pacing of the game is worked out. Also, when's the last time you saw a Caitlyn in a professional game just back and buy an Infinity Edge straight up? I'm still like a little bit of a thinking face on about that because that's you literally sat in lane for 4,000 gold. Like, I've done that in solo queue when the bottom lane, the opposing bottom lane is literally AFK, but you just don't see the lack of trading like that in pro bot lanes. Just not. I don't even understand not trading the potions. Like, you can just walk up and especially if you're like there's arguments for it on both sides, right? Like Caitlyn can walk up an auto because she's got better auto attack range, and maybe hit the Pilt over Peacemaker every now and then, or land a trap and get an auto attack that way. And like Ashe just kind of hits volleys while she's farming on enemy bot lanes usually. So for them to like not have traded enough to not have used their potions is just like a ridiculous focus on last hitting. Oh yeah, like Ryukai, I totally agree. I think it's a terrible buy if it's a Roa. I'm just like, Amazing J looks like he might be in a much less pleasant mood this game than he was last game, because he's kind of getting dumped on by Top Viz. Well, we don't know what the pause is technically for. There was an interesting exchange of kills immediately before the pause, with Talia getting a nice solo kill on Olaf with both of them at extremely low health, and then dying on her way off of her Weaver's Wall, which might be what the pause... Like, if I were gonna guess, right, I would guess that the pause is about, like, maybe Icon not expecting to be knocked off of his Weaver's Wall by some kind of damage, even though that's how that works, or something. Like, doesn't look like anybody's getting equipment dealt with, so... I don't know, chat, did you see any weird interactions during the Talia interaction top lane? Because I don't think I saw anything that wasn't how I expected it to go, right? Like, guy behind the OMG players on his walkie-talkie looks super serious. Well, we're back to the desk, so clearly there's something going on. And, like, the lack of action by the players would make me conjecture that it might be a bug-related thing rather than an equipment-related thing. So we shall see what we see. Gonna check Twitter just to see if anybody knows anything about it. Yeah, you're not wrong. It would be pretty troll for OMG to ask for a remake. And in addition to being stupid, it would be pretty troll because this is not the game to do it. So it doesn't really make sense, but whatever. Hope it's IMay asking for a remake again. That would be amusing. Dudecaster looks like he's explaining something super seriously. I hope it's very interesting. Well, okay, well, kind of brief update on the series in case you're just joining. OMG just took kind of a bad fight in the game, but we're relatively up in terms of pressure control and have a Rift Herald to use at their leisure. So they should be relatively in control of this game. IMay took game 1 after a interesting early game and then unwise Baron fight taken by OMG, which swung IMay into a huge lead that they never really relinquished. I'm not quite going to turn on LCK in my off monitor, but if you all do, I respect you for doing so. Because on my brief scroll through Twitter, it looks like Longjuice pick ban was quite fun. So. Well. What is the tie thing she's wearing? I don't understand that, because it's not really a tie at all. Alright, okay, are we back? We're back. Looks like nothing changed. Cool. So, after all of that, OMG are in a 1,100 gold lead. They do have a Rift Herald, but that fight, I don't think that fight as a whole was the greatest for them. And it did get Galio full kill participation, which will help him get some items to be able to better survive in the game. Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like nothing changed. Cool. Yeah, so Caitlyn first backed and bought an Infinity Edge, and Ashe first backed and bought an entire Blade of the Ruined King and boots. So, pretty decent first backs for your ADCs, who are both right on that 10 CS a minute clock, although they're about to fall behind it. So it clearly hasn't been perfect. Disappointing. Athena Just going to take some damage and wisely back away from the Elise in his lane, setting up a Rift Herald with a big ol' wave that Kassadin would have to Rift Walk up to clear. So Kassadin's not going to be able to clear that wave. Herald's going to go right ahead and head bop that turret, and it's going to die. Now, not the greatest wave clear here, and Ben 4 is going to be in trouble as there's Fizz on him. Nice double flay back by Road, but like they gotta actually kill the Rift Herald at this point, or it's going to take their tower. Herald takes, between Herald and OMG's attentions, that mid lane tier 2 turret takes about 3/4 of its health, which, very nice use of Rift Herald. Had the big push ready. Now Jin Zhao not respecting the Tahm Kench ult, and you do have an Infinity Edge that hits really hard. Now, teleport's gonna get cancelled and Jin Zhao's gonna die. Probably fair. He was teleporting into like 4 people and would have just also died. So, fair cancel. Jin Zhao did not respect Tahm Kench ult and therefore died for his sins. The end. Athena's going to go in and get some damage onto Icon. And that's pretty much that. Jaco looks like he got a little bit of aggressive, but that Fizz does a ton of damage. And, alright. Here goes Tahm Kench, gonna blast plant his way most of the way out. Xiang's at about 300 health. SMLZ's on his way to try and join them. We'll see if they can disengage this. 5 might die, and now SMLZ's caught in the fray. Alright, Icon's down here too, so there's some damage. This might break into a whole big fight. Kills cleaned up on one side by Athena, on the other side by Galio. Ben 4's probably gonna die to Ashe on the backside of this fight. Oh no, the Thresh Hook is gonna save the day, maybe? Oh, the taunt saves him, and Ben 4 even gets the kill. That is a lot of... might have been all 5 across the fight. I think Elise already respawned, and then for no deaths for them. Excellently played fight by IMay for none of them to go down during that. Yeah, Elise is dead at the start of this fight, so that was actually 5 for... I guess sort of 5 for Caitlyn, but really 5 for O for IMay. I mean, just, like, really good target prioritization all across the fight. Like, and this hook just to let Ben 4 survive right at the end, and then taunt, perfect timing. Amazing J lives at under 50 health. Ben 4 lives at like 200 health. But man, what a fight from IMay, who turned this right back around and have the gold lead suddenly. All right, cool. And for those of us who are questioning, Kassadin did indeed go for the Rod of Aegis as his technically first completed item after everything else. Can I see how many stacks that has on it? So it's got 3 stacks right now, so it's going to be fully stacked in 25 minutes. So not the worst thing in the world, but... And I guess with that fight, you're fine, so... And now that he's got some kills on him, he might start to become slightly more problematic for OMG. It's not the worst thing in the world, but... I don't know. Okay, so Tahm Kench ult's coming in. Rhodes kind of cut off. Nice sidestep. Oh, now he's trolling. Rode with a little bit of BM after getting out of everything. And then is going to get hit by the Tahm Kench tongue slap. And 5's going to give it back. Excellent. Excellent. 5 and Road with the excellent dance moves. Good to see. Alright, now there's a Kassadin here though, and that's a little more scary. So the ward battle for control of the Dot Brush and River is eventually going to go to IMay because they're going to bring slightly more friends to the fight. Alright, Icon's gonna just barely not eat the Thresh Hook after eating the Caitlyn ult. And the wave clear is going to be just fine there. So, no, not too much pressure on the mid lane. So, like, I don't know, like, OMG's still done a pretty good job of pressure across the map. 5 eats a hook and a wall and is probably still going to... He's Tahm Kench, right? Yeah, he's... I don't know about using everything for the hook on the Tahm Kench. So, it looks like IMay are going to try and aggressively contest this red buff steal. No hook on any of the 3 members of OMG, and the red buff is going to get cleanly taken away by Olaf. And now, this push is strong on mid lane. Talia's still here, and she gets rid of the... she gets rid of everything, so A few more auto attacks, slowly but surely working down the mid lane turret. Kind of surprised. It's surprising that after all of the advantages in the top lane, that the top lane outer for IMay is still up, and it's bad about half health. But Fizz hasn't comfortably been able to go attack that tower just because Galio can hit the taunt on you if you're not careful, and you'll take a lot of tower shots, which is bad. Yeah. Also, rode with the classy James Bond in the score of this game. Excellent scoreline with the 77% kill score and the 007. Still 100% kill for this Galio that's been getting dumped on in lane. 100% kill participation in 237. Pretty good. That fight bot lane just got rid of so much control for OMG. Like they were in a relatively comfortable place. Just got that big push on mid lane, and we're gonna probably get set up to take the other two outer turrets as soon as they were decided to move elsewhere. But like, it just gave IMay so many more resources to get back in the game, and like it's still like 300 gold, and OMG will probably take the gold lead back because that bot lane turret's not gonna last that much longer. But it's a window for IMay to get more time to scale, which has appeared to be exactly what their comp wants. And yeah, like Kassadin's on 2 items, Rose at 7 stacks, so it'll be stacked between 24 and 25 minutes, and then he'll be totally online. Like, and that's the problem, right? You have a comp that's set up to team fight well, with Kassadin and Olaf diving in well, Galio ulting on top of him, and Caitlyn auto-attacking from far away with Thresh to disengage. Like, if your team comp has the items to do the damage and survive depending on their roles, like, this looks like it's setting up really well for IMay to transition into team fighting. What does Adaptive Helm do for Olaf this game? I guess it reduces some of the damage on the Talia abilities? How does I don't know how that works with Fizz Dot. That's an interesting. I don't think it would reduce the damage of the damage over time ability, but probably because Fizz doesn't spam spells, right? He just applies the dot on you and does that. Alright, yeah. Looks like Jiang might finally actually get this top turret. And if he's really feeling cocky, he might get himself a kill to go with it. Yeah, he's going to get the turret. Oh, no, he's not going to get the turret. He's going to be forced to back away at under half health because taunt plus turret aggro did enough work. But that turret is like 2 auto attacks from going down, so that'll go down at any time. Bot lane's basically just as low, so there's some really, really easy standing gold for OMG on the map if they can ever get some control. That smells like he's going to take Caitlyn ult. Not much to be done about that. Ben 4 looks like he's going to solo out this Drake, which will be the second Drake of the game after Cloud Drake, which came down earlier. Athena's here to help, so it's not soloing it. So, good Drake control by IMay. I missed the first one being a Cloud. Didn't matter that much. So, we'll see if OMG try and force around either of these very, very low outer turrets that remain. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Cool, thank you, chat. Wasn't actually sure about that. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense then, into both Leandries from... Ben 4 is going to eat the Ashe ult and run away. So at the same time as these side lane turrets are both super low, the mid lane turret for OMG is super low, and the pressure from IMay in this 1-3-1 they've got set up has been going really well. Looks like Kassadin might head towards mid to join them and try and get this final push on that. I think we'll see a fight if OMG try and defend this turret with any kind of numbers at this point. Especially if Kassadin's anywhere here. So, and yeah, like, it certainly doesn't appear that Amazing J's having that many problems into the Fizz anymore. And so now they're sending Athena to lane against the Fizz, which is interesting because the Fizz... So Fizz has some magic resist. Laning against Galio makes sense. Which I guess puts Galio against Talia, and Talia probably can't do that much to him. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they keep that. Yeah, so those top lane turrets are both kind of on a knife edge, so that might be where some interesting things happen. Amazing J's worked his way up. So yeah, it looks like I may want to force this mid turret, and I suspect we may see a dive if OMG try and hold it. They're gonna try and clear this wave. And Caitlyn is in danger if she walks up to auto attack too much, so they kind of have to actually engage the dive if they're gonna dive, rather than trying to chauffeur Caitlyn up to hit the turret. It's an interesting kind of combination of positions. So yeah, doesn't look like... Okay, so there's a Weaver's Wall cutting them off to the side that doesn't do anything. I barely even saw that was on the map. I thought there was wards up there. What was the point of that? Like... Hook does not land. Alright, so they've called the MIAs on Fizz in the river. He's going to get back in time. Oh, there's a hook onto 5, who's going to get ignited for his troubles. Arrow's going to hit Road. 5's going to get out. Road might die, but here comes... Okay, so they all get their way out of the engage, and Road's just dead. So Road's gone. Out of the fight. That's one kill picked up for OMG. They are starting to get super low. Taunt hits from Amazing J, but now Ben 4 is in trouble. He's just going to die. Alright, SMLZ is almost dead, but it's not going to matter. No, Jiyoung's going huge in this fight. If he can... Doesn't get out, and that's not the ignite on him. Ult comes in, blocked out by 5, so 2 for 1 as we disengage in favor of OMG. And the mid turret still stands. So... Well, like, this is the second half of the fight, but, like, this is the problem, right? Like, you blow a lot of your stuff not actually engaging. And, like, SMLZ was fine for a lot of that fight. So instead, like, you kind of had to, like, counter-engage it, even with Thresh going in. Like, you went on the in on the Tom Kench, which is great, but, like, you can't actually kill him. They got him super low, but then he just ran around devouring people for the rest of the fight. Alright, we're back at it again. No ults from anybody. Caitlyn's on 3 items because she's farmed up a storm. Ashe is on 2.5 and we'll have 3 as soon as she backs. This is such... I'm glad we're just at that so much ARAM point. Alright, Arrow... Enchanted Crystalline Arrow is up. So if that engage wants to happen, Caitlyn chose not to go for a Quicksilver Sash as a part of her most recent recall, instead opting to finish her second seal item. So still vulnerable there, and still no summoner spells on Jinja, so he has to be careful of the arrow coming up in the lane. He does not have a Tom Kench to save him. But IMay are still just going to try and 1-3-1 this out. And it looks like Kassadin is starting to be able to force Talia away from this turret. He might be able to get that if he chooses to push up more. But Jaco has made his way onto the rest of the map, and therefore he can't threaten the dive too heavily. And these top and bottom lane turrets from OMG, this shows how intense the pressure mid lane from IMay has been. Those turrets have been at like 50 health apiece for probably 10 minutes or so at least. And neither of them been able to go down because OMG haven't been able to get their split pushers, well, their Fizz, and I guess their Talia, near enough to the turrets for them to make an impact. It feels like this is just exactly what IMay want, though. Like, eventually they're gonna be able to draw OMG into a favorable team fight, because it's starting to look like they're, if not winning the side lanes, they're definitely not losing the side lanes at this point. Like, and there's a certain point where the kill threat is going to be, alright, here comes, so they had to use the Galio ult defensively again, right? And here comes Athena's teleport. He's in there, but, like, You've used one of your primary engage tools. Olaf saved Ragnarok after getting hit by the arrow, but now I may have mid priority and that turret's like 2 hits away from dead, so it's going to go down. And they still have a wave. It doesn't look like they're going to try and pursue up and force anymore with so many of their abilities now. But now they're going to walk towards Baron, and yeah, it is suddenly 30 minutes into this game after we've walked around mid for a while. So Baron's a legitimate threat if a team can get control. Both teams have their mid turrets down. Now, if IMay give up mid control too strongly when prepping for Baron, they'll lose their mid tier 2 turret at pretty much the next breath of air that gets near it. So they've got to be a little bit careful of that when they start prepping Baron vision now. If they give up mid control at any time from that during that, it's a tier 2 tower just gone. And Jiang's going to go clear that wave, but that wave might do a little bit of work to that tower. That was a big old wave he just found down there in bot lane. But this has been an impressive kind of rubber band job by IMay to just continue keeping those turrets up, continue keeping this 1-3-1 doing the damage. Does Icon want this fight? I don't know if Icon wants this fight. Misses the seismic shove. And like get some noticeable damage onto Athena, but that's a 3.5 item Cassidon with a fully stacked Rod of Ages. And he's gonna be able to get in and do some serious damage onto whoever he finds. So IMay doing a pretty good job of trying to clear out vision in OMG's jungle here. They've got one ward. They need a ward up on the path from blue. But instead they're going to sit in river after all walking back and forth past a ward that they haven't seen, because it's just outside of the vision of their control ward. Over and over and over. Oh, and the opposing team has Ashe. Does look like Cassidon might be going to kill Icon. We're going to see the very end of it. I saw that health bar going down after the turret went down. That is now becoming a pretty big problem for OMG, because who do they send to lane against the Cassidon? You can't send Talia anymore. She's just going to die. So, IMay's Baron threat is now starting to really... They find that ward finally. And it looks like mid-wave's relatively stabilized, so they have to... Oh, man, and that Baron is down to not very much, and I can't see it through the scoreboard. Okay, 5 gets a ward in there, but it's blocked out by the control ward. I think the Baron's just going to go down. I wish we could see the Baron's health. Can't see the Baron's health. Okay, it's dead. Cool. Now can they win the fight? Road gets jumped on by Jaco and is going to repel out of the way of something. Jiang's dead. This is a huge fight. Galio's going to walk away. Jinjao's still alive. Everybody's dead. Except 5, who might get out. Nope, there's Cassidon. Cassidon says hello. He's out of mana. Gonna get him with the Sheen auto attack before he hits the blast plant. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, now this is a problem. If it wasn't already, yeah, Icon can't be there. Athena can just go kill him. Like, faux free. Goodbye. He can't be anywhere near that turret now. Like, this is 10 seconds till SMLZ, 6 seconds till Jiang. They will stick around for the inhibitor, and then they are going to need to get their way out. We'll see if Amazing J, who I believe is... Amazing J and Ben 4 in the top lane. We'll see if they want to stick around and acquire that. Yeah, Ben 4 is going to stick around for that. Ben 4 might die for this, but nice Lancer from Road to get him out. 5 is running after him, but the axe from Olaf slows him down just enough to get out and avoid the tongue lash. So, let's see this fight again. The Baron goes down in the back. Jiang goes in the back and tries to get Jinjiao, but he just can't do it in time. So Jinjiao lives through everything, and meanwhile, Amazing J gets a beautiful 3-man taunt, and Cassidon just gets to go kill everybody. Like, it was 5v4 to begin with, and you don't have your mid laner, so they're short damage, and your Fizz does a ton of work over the course of the fight, but right as he went to auto-attack the blast plant. Well played by IMay, who now have such an advantage. You have Baron buff on your 2 split pushers who were already winning. Like, who can enter lane against the Cassidon at this point, right? Cassidon's on 4.5 items. He's got his Lich Bane. He's got another needlessly large rod that's going to go for the Rabbiden's Death Cap. And, like, Caitlyn's got her Mercurial now. Caitlyn's at 4.5 items. It's just, like... It looks like they're going to just 5-man push down the remaining lane. They don't even need to split push at this point. Honestly, you could probably send Amazing J to the top lane and just let him walk those minions into the base so they start throwing the Nexus towers from that. But you can just 5-man group like this, because what are they going to do? Like, where's Talia? Talia has to Weaver wall this off. Okay, she cuts off the Cassidon, who can just walk back over the wall whenever he wants. And now, there's the Galio wall. That's going to hit 4 people. That's the team fight. So, Fizz is dead. Jinzhao's tanking the tower. Jinzhao shouldn't tank the tower. He's getting a little bit sloppy. Ben4 is going to die because he was tanking the tower, but he has a Guardian Angel already. Nice 3-man seismic shove, but it's not going to matter because nobody's going to die. Talia's going to not even get a kill back. Like, that's the thing, is that's the dive the turret and then Galio ult the diver, right? One Nexus turret's already dead. Icon and Jaco are here, but... Oh, and Jaco just gets popped. Goodbye. Not Jaco. Now he gets popped. Goodbye. Game 2. IMay. Alright. Yep. Alright. IMay are out to a 2-0 lead again. Seen this before. Can they finish? Are we going to have the minimum games tonight? 2 3-0 sweeps. We very well could, or we could see the reverse sweep. We've seen it before in this matchup the last time these two teams played each other. The exact way it has gone down so far. Suffice to say, the Cassidon and the Talia pick worked as long as you survived the lane. Like, it just hit that point right around like 30, 32 minutes into the game where suddenly, like, Talia can't enter lane against the Cassidon. Fizz probably can't enter lane against the Cassidon. Like, you might have been able to reassign those lanes, but then you have to, like, send Talia to lane against Galio, and Talia doesn't do any damage to Galio, so that's pointless. And so you just have this unanswered split push forever. And in the end, like, Cassidon takes turret, kills Icon. IMay take a clean Baron. Clean up the fight afterwards. Like, in the end, the scaling comp won out. It barely needed to win team fights. Like, nice, just a nicely played game. Like, really, by the early game was a little weird, and that fight bottom lane that let them stall for time, because all that fight, we didn't do anything that game except run around mid after that 5 for none bot lane that IMay got for like 15 minutes, right? Like, all we did was sit bot lane. IMay pushes up the wave, tries to get pressure on the tower. We walk back. They give up a kill the one time. But, like, there was just nothing. Like, nothing to do. Yeah, I don't know. Like, OMG had a great advantage early game, but they went one fight too far, and it let IMay's comp just outscale the bejesus out of theirs. Yeah, here's this fight, right? Like, this looks pretty good going in. It's 4v4, Icon gets there first, and everybody from IMay is so low. But Jiang dies without being able to put out too much. And then just the target selection from IMay. They let SMLZ go, and he's able to get out of there while they just deal with Icon. And then SMLZ just gets kited out enough that not a single person dies. Here's the one fight where they pushed a little too hard mid lane and a couple of people die. Because this is how their engage isn't supposed to work, right? Amazing J can't get into the entire back line and get a taunt on everybody. And so they'll give up 2 kills for 1 at the end of this fight. But at this point, like, SMLZ's over here auto-attacking the Galio for forever. And I'm honestly not sure if he stayed alive because of that Devour from Tom Kench. I think if SMLZ just keeps auto-attacking him, he might actually kill the Galio. But at that point, the fight's already lost. Like, right? Right? Fizz is already dead. Talia's been dead. So you're going in 4v5, and, like, Ash is stuck auto-attacking the Galio for the entire fight. So, that's where we're at. So, do we believe in the reverse sweep? Headset coming off.